What is up, guys? My name is Jay McMorris with Team Six Sided Discs, and today I'm going to be going through what is in the bag for the 2021 season. I'm super excited for this video. Let's get right into it with putt and approach discs. So first, I putt with KC Pro AVRs. These have a very stiff plastic and a really good feel out of my hand, allowing for a consistent release. I've putted with these for about a year and I've absolutely loved them. Like I said before, super clean release because of that stiff, smooth plastic. I never really liked soft plastic, so these are the perfect putters for me. Onto approach discs, I use the Castaplast Berg. This thing is a brick. It has no glide and no speed whatsoever, and it doesn't really go anywhere. You just kind of throw it out there on the power you want to have it on, and it will just drop right on target when it runs out of speed. I absolutely love throwing this thing for forehand and for backhand. Six-sided discs hooked me up with these, and I am absolutely loving them so far. Next up, overstable approach disc. I have the Z-Zone from Discraft. This is a forehand approach disc unlike anything else. A lot of people have tried to make Zone clones. I never really liked any of the other ones. I really love throwing the Zone. It's got a nice stable flight, very smooth and good feel in the hand. Absolutely would recommend this to anyone who's trying to better their forehand approach game. Next up, the Castaplast Rico. This is my straight throwing putter, and it does what I want it to do. Dead straight. If I put it on some anhyzer, it will fly an anhyzer line, and just super clean release out of the hand. It's got a micro bead on the bottom, which I understand some people don't like, and Castaplast plastic is just buttery. Also, with putters, you gotta throw the 360 with them, right? No? Well, on to mid-ranges. My most overstable mid-ranges are going to be my Justices. This one is my max weight one, and it is extremely overstable. I don't use it a lot, but mostly for high winds or crazy S shots through a tunnel when I'm playing on a more wooded course, and then also just some weird wacky forehands. Super fun disc to throw. But this other Justice, it's lighter and it's more beat in, and it actually flies quite a bit less stable than the other Justice. It's only 168 grams. It's got a nice, fast, straight flight with a very dependable fade at the end. Great for forehands. I really only throw it for forehands. Occasionally there will be a backhand with it, but it's basically a longer Zone that's a whole lot better in the wind. Next up, MD3s. I have 4 of them in the bag. This icy blue one is my most overstable MD3, and I don't know what made this one come out so overstable, but I've never thrown any MD3s like it. I can throw it on anhyzer and it will fully flex out, and it's just really nice for this Texas wind. It can hold up to a good headwind. Very dependable disc. And like I said, flex shots, hyzers, straight shots, you can really do anything with it. Really bridges the gap between the Justices and the other MD3s well. This one is my straightest MD3. Give it a little bit of hyzer to pop up to flat, ride straight, and there will be a little bit of fade at the end, but not much. This one I absolutely love, and it really flies well, and it doesn't really hold up to a headwind that well because it's a straighter mid-range, but it still gets a lot of use out here, especially into tailwinds. These two are my most understable MD3s. These are perfect for throwing late flips. Throw it on some hyzer, it'll get up to flat, and then turn over. It emulates a forehand very well. I don't have a big forehand, but if I ever need something to go, 350 to 400 feet slowly drifting to the right, this is a great disc to do it with. It's got a really nice clean flight to it. Next up is my fairway drivers, guys, and we're gonna be starting it off with the Cosmic Neutron Flare. This thing is the most overstable disc I have ever thrown in my life. It really doesn't go anywhere, which makes it perfect for these very windy Texas winds. Anyway, I can throw crazy flex shots, hyzers, flat shots. They're all gonna be an extremely hard fade at the end. Next up, we have these Color Glow C-Line Discmaniac FD3s. These might be my favorite disc. I love throwing these because they're very, very straight. Got a little bit of fade at the end. You can throw big hyzers. They hold up to wind very well. Would absolutely recommend one of these to anyone who wants to try them. Great for forehands, and you can really get a lot of power on them without really turning them over. So I just absolutely love this disc. If you hit it nice and flat, it'll turn a bit and then fade out at the end. Super good disc. Next up, the Discmania Instinct. This thing just basically is a T-Bird clone. It goes dead straight with a little bit of fade at the end. Use it for hitting super tight gaps because it has a very comfortable feel in the hand, and the neoplastic is amazing. Absolutely love throwing this disc. It's just really, really good. Got a pretty shallow rim for a 7-speed, so if you have smaller hands, I definitely check this out. Just totally dead straight. Next up, Discmania FD. A lot of people have heard of it for a reason. It's a very good disc. I can hit it on some hyzer, it'll pop up to flat, ride straight, and well, yeah, pop up to flat, turn over if I give it enough power, and then fade back to the left. It's like a longer version of those white MD3s I showed you earlier. It's a really, really good disc. I would definitely check one out. And if I had to throw, I don't throw rollers really at all, but if I had to throw a roller, it would be with this disc. And this is the first roller I had thrown in a very long time. It went about 500 feet. I was very, very happy with myself because I never throw rollers. Absolutely was having fun with that one. Next up, distance drivers. My favorite discs to throw. First up, got an Opto Stiletto. Really good for the super high winds we get here. It's totally flat top, extremely overstable like I've said. Holds a hyzer line, will hold flat and then dump hard left, and is really good for flex shots if you really need to if you need a very dramatic S-curve through trees or whatnot. Next up, got an Excalibur. I'm kind of experimenting with this disc. I'm not sure if I like it yet. For me, the Excalibur flies with the turn of a destroyer and the fade of a stiletto. It's kind of a weird disc. Like I said, I'm not sure if I like it yet. One of my favorite discs ever, the Halo Destroyer. It's a very overstable run of destroyers. I love how this thing flies. Hit it flat really hard, it'll turn a little bit over to the right and then fade back. If I throw it on hyzer, it will hold flat and then fade left. This shot went pretty far. This thing actually has some sneaky distance. This one got out to about 500 feet. I absolutely love this disc. It's got some crazy glide. Next up, slightly more understable destroyer. This is from the Paul Macbeth 4-time run, and hit it with a little bit of hyzer, pop to flat, and it'll turn a little bit and then come back at the very end. This disc is probably the least used of my destroyers because it kind of overlaps between the Halo Destroyer and the next destroyer up on the list, which is my first G-Star destroyer. This thing is used mainly for forehands, but I will use it for backhand if I need to. Hit it on some hyzer, it'll flip to flat, turn over, and come back. Really good for long wooded lines because I don't have to give it a lot of height. It has a lot of speed. Like I said, love it for forehands. Really soft, grippy plastic, which I really enjoy for forehands. It is a very good disc. I love destroyers. Next up, Discmania DD3. This one is from the 2021 run, and this is my absolute bomber disc. This shot super high in the air, let it drift all the way over to the right, and then fade back over at the very end, guys. This one went about 550 feet, which is not bad. And of course, I had to try a 360 with it because it's fun. And that's the only reason. Next up, we have my most understable destroyer. This is my beat up G-Star one. I can hit this one on a lot of hyzer for forehands. It'll pop up to flat, fly straight, and then come back at the end, giving me a lot of distance for my forehands. Super good disc. Absolutely love throwing this thing. This one was a little bit of a shank, but it shows the flight pretty well. And that's it, guys. Thank you for watching my In the Bag. Shout out to Six Sided Discs for letting me post this on their channel. I had a lot of fun with this. Go check out their stuff. I will see you guys very soon.